Hi, I'm Yasmeen Tائب. Like a lot of Northern
ياسمين
Virginians,
تائب
how I became
ناشطة إيرانية أمريكية تدافع عن حقوق المهاجرين في الولايات المتحدة، وأول امرأة مسلمة تنتخب في اللجنة الوطنية للحزب الديمقراطي عام 2016. تحمل ياسمين في ذاكرتها قصة معاناة من زمن الحرب العراقية الإيرانية، حين قررت عائلتها الهروب من إيران لتحمي شقيقها من التجنيد القسري، حيث كان نظام الخميني آنذاك يجبر الأطفال على الالتحاق بجبهات القتال.
This is a war that would ultimately claim the lives of more than a million people. And my mom did what countless mothers did. She packed up our bags so we could flee the country. At that time, my brother was just 14 years old, and he was about to get drafted to fight and most likely die in the war had we not left Iran. So we lived out of our suitcases for months on end in Turkey, awaiting to get a visa to come to the US to be reunited with my father, who was already in the States. And unfortunately, over months of attempt, we weren't able to get a visa, and we were running out of resources. And out of desperation, my mom decided again to do what she believed was best for her family.
ومن تركيا غادرت ياسمين مع عائلتها إلى المكسيك، ومن هناك عبروا جميعاً إلى الولايات المتحدة. ذكريات ليلة العبور لا تزال محفورة في مخيلتها.
I remember that night. It was in September. And I remember that we got dropped off by the border at the fence, and all I could recall was being told to run. There's a small hole that my family and I crawled through, and we just kept running. Unfortunately for us, at some point, we got separated from my sister, who at that time was 9 years old. And there were choppers ahead. They were shining their lights on us. That's when we eventually found out that my sister was caught. We thankfully were reunited with her. And I remember, seeing her in a white van with tears streaming down her face. We weren't turned away at the border, right? We weren't kicked and thrown out. And forced to return to our imminent deaths in a war-torn country. We spent about 2 weeks in a detention center. Finally, my father was able to pay the bond for them to let us go, and I was able to go to school with just like my siblings. I wasn't turned away because I didn't have documentation. I eventually was able to go to a state school with a full scholarship. We became naturalized citizens, and I eventually became a lawyer. And that story, really, that experience is what has shaped who I am today. These are memories that will stay with you forever. The reason why I work on these issues, and the reason why I think it's so incredibly important for us to ensure that the U.S. maintain and continue to welcome those fleeing violence and persecution is because that's the American story. That's the story of my family. I was given a chance. I wasn't turned away at the border, and I want to ensure that every other family, under those same circumstances, has that same opportunity. And we need to ensure that we fight to make that a reality for every other family.
ياسمين واحدة من بين أكثر من 40 مليون شخص يعيشون في الولايات المتحدة ولدوا في بلد آخر، ويشكلون خمس مهاجري العالم. هؤلاء يمارسون الآن حقوقهم بحرية.
I would simply say that for those in the States and abroad that are fighting for your rights, for civil and human rights, don't give up. And you know, again, with the experience of my family, we came here with nothing but the clothes on our backs, and we've been fighting our entire lives to ensure that everybody is afforded the same rights and liberties.